back to Joe's Allotment channel. Thank you to Di behind the camera. So this is week 4 of May now, and as we're doing a series of every week during the year to show you what jobs we do for every week of the year, I'd like to say thank you again to people that have subscribed recently, and also thank you for your comments. We like reading all your comments and we try and get back to as many people as we can. If you'd like to follow our journey throughout the year and week by week, as we sort of do a weekly video of the jobs we're doing there for that particular week, please use the subscribe button and subscribe to our jobs. So one of the main jobs for week 4 is I'm very cautious. I don't like putting out my sort of tomatoes, cucumbers, sweet corns and squashes until sort of week 4 of May, because we've been caught out before in the past basically with a late May frost. Only happens once every 4 or 5 years, but I'd rather not take the risk, so I'll leave it to week 4. So they're all going out this week. Got some more plant sowing to do as well this week, so I'll be doing that at home later, and some things can go in directly as well from sort of week 4, so we can catch up with those again a bit later as well. But the first thing to do is get the tomatoes, sweet corn, squashes, peppers and chili peppers into the ground. What I'll do is I'll cut some comfrey leaves off. And I'll put some comfrey leaves on the bottom of each planting hole for tomatoes, squashes, peppers, chilies and courgettes. As well as adding some comfrey leaves, what I'll do is I'll add a bit of comfrey juice to the bottom of each planting hole as well. It's going to be the bed for the tomatoes. Like all tomatoes, they like a sunny position. Lots of organic matter in the soil. We've got lots of organic matter in here in the autumn, so that should be nice and rich for them. And what I'll do is I'll dig the holes first, and I'll put a bit of comfrey and some comfrey juice in the bottom of the holes before I plant the tomatoes out. We've got comfrey leaves in the bottom of each hole, and just put some comfrey juice in the bottom of each hole as well. I've got 3 varieties to plant out. I've got some Roma VFs, a cherry type tomato and some money makers. And the larger ones over here are the ones that are left over from the greenhouse planting, so I'll put them out as well. The rest of them sown. Trying to get them up. So these ones are the ones that are left over from the greenhouse planting. A lot larger than the ones I sowed later. So these are going to be going in about a foot apart, because we use no dig bed system, which means we can put them closer together. So they're going a bit deeper. And we'll tie them all in as well and give them a really good watering before we finish for today. There's about 60 tomatoes in this bed, so that should give us a nice crop of tomatoes. Probably have to water them again tomorrow to make sure they're thoroughly watered in for the first few days. So the next job to do is plant out the bell and long peppers. A lot of them have got tomatoes growing in the base, so I use the comfrey from home to re-put them on, the comfrey, the compost. So I'm going to leave them in there actually and see what happens. You can always move them on if they get large enough. Right, so try and get the whole root system in. Roots are coming out at the bottom already, so I can get the whole lot into there. Just smooth that down, push it in, and we tie them to the sticks as well. Give a bit of support. So these were sown. No way. Oh, look at the root system on that one. Excellent. I'll give these a good watering. It's not always necessary to stake them, but I find if you stake them, keeps them off the floor if you tie them in, and that prevents some diseases. So chili peppers going in here now. Got the large peppers there. And these are the chili peppers, the small compact variety. So that just fits straight into the hole as well. Without too much root disturbance. So these have been comfreyed as well, and comfrey juiced as well, to give them some nutrition straight away. The bed was composted in the autumn as well, so lots of nutrition. They should get away quite well. Give these a good watering when we're finished as well. And we've got some aubergines as well. I'll intersperse them, I think, put a few in this bed as well. So yeah, they go outside. Tried to grow them in the greenhouse last year, didn't get a very good crop. So I'm going to try growing some outside this year. So that's this bed finished. So that's full of aubergines, chili peppers, and large peppers as well. Bell-shaped peppers and long peppers. So that's that bed completely full now. Give it a good watering. We're going to put the sweet corn in this area here. They go about 1.5 foot apart. What we've done is put some comfrey leaves and comfrey juice in the bottom of each hole. And this is a variety called Invincible F1. Sowed these on the 22nd of April, and these should be cropping from sort of August to September onwards. And what I might do is, if I've got room, I'll put some more directly sown ones in a week or so as well. Lovely root system. These like to be planted in blocks because they're wind pollinated. So if you plant them in blocks, it allows them to sort of pollinate easily. So the last two going in here. So I'm planting them a little bit deeper than they are in the pots to give them a bit more support as well. And we'll give these a good watering in a moment. And hopefully they should get away quite well. The weather forecast for the next 10 days looks really warm, so it should be good. We've got 3 types of cucumbers here. We've got a space saver, a gherkin, and a lemon type. They're round cucumbers. I'm going to put them into a space here which is nice and sunny, and also been manured, composted over the winter. What we've done is dug the holes, pre-prepared them with some comfrey leaf and some comfrey juice. So we just simply put the cucumbers in now. I might even put a bit of covering around them to protect them a little bit from the wind. Just firming in, and they should get off to a flying start hopefully. Just give them a good watering before we go today. Hopefully we'll get lots of lovely cucumbers for our salads. Got a good root system, haven't they? Last two going in here. So what I do is I plant them a little bit deeper than they are in the pot, just to give them a bit of a support really to start with. And I'll give that a good watering in a moment. And that's the cucumbers in the first batch. We can always do another batch later if necessary. So I'll give these a good watering in. So I've just put the a bit of an old shower door there, just to protect them from the wind a little bit really. Stop blowing all over the place at the moment. So we're going to plant out the squash family this morning. Got the cacao, which is a pumpkin, but it has the edible pumpkin seeds in it. that you can purchase from the shop, the same ones, the sort of greeny ones. All these were planted, sown on the 15th of March. So we've got the Kakai, we've got two types of zucchini here. We've got a Black Beauty and a zucchini. And we've got some pumpkins here as well, and some butternut squashes as well. Butternut baby, and a butternut Friedmax, I think it says. Not quite sure. And a normal large pumpkin. So I'm going to get all those plants on. What I'll do is dig the holes, line them with some of the comfrey over here. So 23 holes dug, and they're about 2.5 to 3 foot apart. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some comfrey juice. Pour a good lump, good bit in each hole. So this should feed the marrows, let that sink in for a while. Gently sieve the soil into the hole. Nice roots have filled up the pot. Centre, give it a good firming down. What I'll do is I'll leave it elevated a bit, so when I water, it goes into the hole and the plant gets the water. That's it, that's one done. 22 to go, or 23 to go. So these are the Kakai. Last one going in. Dwarf beans. These are called dwarf yellow bean, Rock A4. They're called dwarf yellow bean, but they're black. Apparently get a good yield on these, and it's a nice stringless bean. So I'll plant some of these in here today. This is the next batch to go in for this week 4, and we'll get those in and give them a good watering. So 4 inches apart, and I'll push them in with my thumb in a moment, and we'll give them a good watering. So if we just keep planting successionally every week now, we'll get a nice crop for use straight away, and for drying as well. These are good black bean to dry actually. Just do a short row. That's it. That's it. I'll push those in with my thumb, and we'll give the row a good watering. The climbing beans going in. Lima Odell Papa, a sort of multicoloured bean, and they apparently grow sort of 3-inch pods, and they're a sort of very buttery texture. They're like, a bit like a butter bean. So the aim of these is actually to dry as many as we can and use those in the winter. So I'll push those in my thumb, and I'll give those a good watering in a moment. We're doing about half a row again, so we've done half a row last week, another half row this week, another half row next week, and that'll be the that'll fill up this area. That's it, last one. Ready? We've got a lovely crop of Morello cherries this year, which is the cooking type ones. So what I'm going to do is cover it over now, because we don't want the birds to eat them all. Never had as many as this on it before. It's the best we've ever had. That's all nice and covered now. Looking forward to making a nice cherry jam with those this year. Looks like we're going to get a good crop. And these were leftover Brussels that I've sown the Brussels I need. I've got another batch on the way actually for a later crop. So what I'll do is, rather than just throw them away, I've tried to give people Brussels, but nobody wants any. So I'm going to plant them here, and I'm going to use them as a salad crop. I'll take the leaves off as we need them and use them as salad, rather than just put them in the compost bin. Pre-prepare this area. I'm going to put some beetroot and some radish in here, and some spring onions as well. So what I'll do is I'll get the rows ready, and I'll pre-water them, and then I'll put the seeds in. I'll just do a small row of French breakfast radish. So these are successionally sown. Let's do a little small row here, and they should come up in 3 to 5 days and be ready in 4 to 5 weeks. So that's those done. So these are China Rose winter radish. These will germinate in 4 to 7 days as well. And what I'll do is I'll plant these successionally from now to up to August, and we'll crop them from October onwards. They take a bit longer to sort of reach maturity. They're nice sort of longer radish rather than the small tiny ones. Row of just a little row of purple spring onions, and they take about 21 days to germinate, and they'll be ready in about 20 weeks. This is the next successional sowing of beetroot. These are bolt hardy, and what I do is I plant these about 1/2 inch deep, a couple of seeds every sort of 4 inches. It's firming down. So these are King Edwards that were left over from the main crop planting. I'm going to put them in this bed, and hopefully we'll get a later crop. I've just dug a trench. I'm going to put them at the bottom, and then I'll earth them up with this trench after they come up. So I'm planting these about 18 inches apart. And about 4 inches deep. And when they come up, I'll just draw the soil back over them. Right, we're doing a bit of sowing. We're not doing much sowing because, as you've seen, we can now start sowing some stuff directly. But some things still do better if you plant them in modules first. And one of those is Coal Rabbi, delicacy purple variety here. I'll plant them in the toilet rolls, and then they can go straight into the ground, toilet roll and all, and that will rot down in the ground as the Coal Rabbi grows. So only planting a few. These are quite popular in Europe, not so popular in the UK. So I'll just put a few seeds in each toilet roll. Give them a light covering. It's already been pre-watered, and we'll let these grow on here. Take out, leave it down to one seed, or one plant. Then I'll plant those out on the plot later on when they're developed. So they should germinate sort of 10 to 12 days. Give them quite light covering, only a tiny seed. I'll keep those well watered until they germinate. That's it. Give them a firming down so they're in contact with the soil. So what I did, I pre-filled the bottom with compost from home and sort of pushed it into the toilet roll, so it saves a bit of compost basically. So they're done. So we'll leave those to germinate now. Right, thank you for watching this week 4 video, week 4 of May. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, leave us a like, leave us comments or suggestions. We're happy to read everything that people send in to us. Also, if you've enjoyed it and you want to see what happens in week 1 of June, what jobs we've got in week 1 of June, then you can subscribe and follow our journey through the allotment year. Thanks again for watching. Come back and visit us again soon. Thank you. Happy gardening.